explore this private, maybe emotionally complex relationship he supposedly had with Eva Braun. So our task really is just to unpack what this document says, how it describes their first meeting, the age gap, her, secret life.
Right, the life in Berchtesgaden mostly.
Yeah, and her loneliness, the suicide attempts it mentions, and then ending with that bunker marriage and, well, the double suicide.
And it's crucial, I think, for us to be absolutely clear. Our aim here is simply to present what's in this specific source.
Exactly.
We're looking at the details it puts forward about the relationship, the claims it makes. We're not endorsing anything.
No, not at all. Just examining the narrative itself and the questions it brings up. Okay, so the source gets right into it. It starts with this stark idea. It says, the world knows him as a tyrant, a murderer, a dictator. You know the list. But there was a soft spot hidden within this cruel heart. That's a bold opening.
It certainly is. And from that sort of broad statement, it then tries to trace it back to them meeting.
How does it describe that first encounter?
Well, it says Eva Braun was young, a photographer, just 17.
He's 17? Wow.
Yeah, when she met Hitler in Munich back in 1929. And the document really points out the age difference. He was 23 years older.
Right, a huge gap.
And the source suggests that this dynamic, this age difference, kind of shaped things right from the beginning, that a love, as it calls it, grew from there.
So an imbalance from the start, perhaps. And you mentioned secrecy. The document really stresses that, doesn't it? Her hidden life.
Oh, absolutely. It calls the relationship hidden from the world for many years. Very explicit about that.
So never presented publicly?
Never. Not as his wife, not as his lover. She was kept, well, completely out of sight. Like a shadow is the phrase used.
Like a shadow.
Living mainly in Berchtesgaden. Only a very small circle, the source claims, knew who she really was.
That phrase the source uses, a love like a prison, that's powerful.
It is. It suggests something really restrictive, doesn't it? Even if it insists on calling it love.
And it emphasizes her difficulty. It says, this relationship was not easy for Eva Braun. Hitler's focus was elsewhere. Politics. Leaving her, very lonely.
Profoundly lonely, according to this account. It paints this picture of her just waiting, long hours waiting for him.
Doing what? How did she fill the time?
The document says mostly taking pictures, writing letters, and waiting for Hitler. It presents this as the core of her existence there.
That sounds incredibly isolating.
And the source links this directly to intense suffering. It details multiple suicide attempts she apparently made.
So it wasn't just hidden, it was painful for her.
That's clearly stated. There was love, but it was full of suffering. That's a direct quote from the source's narrative.
Suffering that lasted right until the end, then. The source moves to April 45, Berlin, the bunker.
Yes, the final days, Russian army closing in. And here, the document introduces a maybe surprising detail.
Which is?
The marriage. It says they got married right there in a small room in the bunker.
Really? A formal ceremony?
A simple one. It describes few witnesses, and it mentions this detail. 2 cigarette-stained rings.
Huh. A very human, almost mundane detail in that setting.
Quite raw, yeah. Their final sort of public-private act. And this was just 40 hours before the end.
40 hours. And then, as the source recounts, the double suicide. Hitler by gunshot, Eva by poison.
And adds they were burned, so their bodies couldn't be desecrated is the reason given.
And the source sums up this part by saying, this story of love swept away in a river of hate.
It does. And then it directly asks the reader questions. Things like, was this love true? Could a man like Hitler love? Why did Eva remain loyal?
Questions it raises, based on the story it told.
Exactly. Those questions push you, the listener maybe, to think about loyalty, connection.
Yeah.
Even in the most horrific circumstances.
Which circles us back to that core paradox the document presents. This idea that even the merchant of hatred once found love in his heart.
According to this source's narrative.
According to this source. We've unpacked its version intricate, often bleak details of a hidden relationship ending in that bunker.
Yeah.
So it leaves us, and you listening, with a profound question to think about. What does the sheer existence of such a private and seemingly suffering relationship, as depicted in this account, suggest about human connection, about loyalty, especially when set against, such monstrous historical events?
Does it tell us something about the contradictory nature of people?
Perhaps. It definitely leaves you contemplating the complex layers, doesn't it? Even in the darkest of stories.
Did you like this video? Thank you for watching War History, a Sciences. Please like, CN, subscribe, and share this video.